Alright, welcome back to Let's Play Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon.
We're busy murdering
Gordon
some
is still
Pegasi.
trying to suicide.
And the wingdings from Gra didn't have a chance.
Yeah, like I said, they're just suicide squads. Just 10 attack.
It helps that the AI in this game has very little concept of positioning. Outside of, there is
Ow.
a guy in my range, let us kill him.
Ooh, this one's actually doing 3 damage to Frey. Frey deserves a kill, because he's the lowest level.
Ding.
Speed. I like
skill.
I like having
Skill's useful.
cavaliers with speed.
I mean, speed's useful in everybody except generals.
Well, even then, having a fast general is amazing.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Prince
having
Mouth.
fast generals is
It was an
amazing.
honor.
It's just not expected. Thanks for eating some of that durability for us, Gordon.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have his durability go down to 0.
Yeah.
Man, you suck.
5 strength. That's very
Oh, fuck.
impressive. Critical.
Fable.
hit.
I wanted to give this kill to Mouth.
Nope. Abel is a kill-stealing whore. But it's okay. Marth can go
Whatever.
click on the end and run away, remembering his valiant sacrifice.
Hey, that was Drog, which I would forever call Doga, because I think that's way better than God spelled backwards. Doga is his Japanese name. There are some characters I will be calling their Japanese names only because I think they're better, but most of the time I'll be calling them by their American translated name, and he is one of them, because Doga is awesome.
And Draug is...
And then there was
clever.
Norn.
Sporting one of the typical Fire Emblem hair colors of pink, green, or blue.
Yeah, this one thing that I've noticed in all my years of playing Fire Emblem games is that if a character has a non-normal or rare hair color, they are generally better than those with standard hair color like black, brown, or blonde. They're generally better for the most part, which is strange.
And noticing how many people in the Fire Emblem games have non-normal hair colors, it's pretty obvious how many overpowered characters are usually running around.
And so
Okay.
Marth and his knights left Aptia, heavy of heart and bleary of eye.
Oh, I forgot this game has Agama.
Yeah, Agma is his Japanese name is Aguma, but I always call him Agma because it sounds better and it's a lot easier to say than Aguma. Just for a Western speaker, it just doesn't sound correct. It doesn't sound that right. But Agma, now that's badass. That, and he's one of the best units in the game, which I may or may not be using. There are some characters that I will be using in this game that most people probably would not be using. Like a priest that shows up in chapter 1, I will be using. And just because I've never used him. And so now the real game begins. Mouth, Prince of Altia, was lucky. Though Doher took from his kingdom and all but a handful of knights. They could not take his life. Mouth lived and made it to the eastern isle of Talus. Talus was a small border kingdom with no grand order of knights to boast of, but its king selflessly gave Mouth use of the isle's eastern fortress. And so he saw the boy shake with anger and grief. He also gave wise counsel. Prince Mouth, he said, I do not doubt you love your sister something great, but you must be patient. Time is on your side. If you stay here and grow stronger, a time will come when you can help her. So Mouth stayed in Talus. protected by its kind people, and the years went by.
Stay here and get stronger, by which he means stay here and do absolutely nothing but get a slightly older looking portrait.
And this map is legitimately one of my favorites in all of Fire Emblem history. I do not like Sheeta. She's nothing but speed. And she is Mouth's love interest in the game, and as you can see, Mouth has a more mature face. He is now, I believe, 17.
Much older, definitely should be in charge of a country and a military organization. But that's why they leave the things to us.
Oh, and she starts with an iron bow, and I have an iron bow down here.
So it was kind of showed briefly in the opening cutscene. Pirates can go raid your villages.
It's thieves. Thieves? Yeah.
Only
it's
thieves in this one?
I believe so. I mean, I may be mistaken, but I think it's only thieves.
In some of the other games, pirates do it as well. A pirate is more than just a organization; it's also a class.
Yeah, which are these guys over here. And
pirate from the land of pirate.
One thing that sucks about the original Fire Emblem game and FE3, Book 1 and Book 2, is that axe users are absolutely worthless and do not promote. This game thankfully does not follow that, and they can promote and can be useful and money.
Which is good. There's a bit of irony. Axes are the strongest of the various weapons of the weapon triangle. They're the slowest, but the strongest. But almost all of the axe users in almost all of the Fire Emblem games are strictly awful. There's a couple notable exceptions. I'd call what was his name? Boyd from...
Yeah, Boyd from Path of Radiance, Radiant Dawn is good. Boust is the best axe user in this game. I don't need to buy an axe. I'll buy that. Thank you kindly. No.
You start out this game with a lot of cash, a lot more than many of the other ones.
This village just gives you 10,000 off the bat. He's over there, okay. Doga. Doga will always be awesome. Except for one map in FE3 and the sequel to this game. Huh?
Pirate used axe. It was not very effective.
This is not Pokemon. What are you talking about?
It might as well be Pokemon.
What? Just because archers are super effective against flyers doesn't mean this is Pokemon.
Might be
right?
Pokemon. Might be Pokemon.
Might?
I like how the pirates can walk on water. That's a nice skill.
Yeah, they're like... Instead of having to fly over water, they can just walk over. Like, who do they think they are? Jesus Christ?
Superstar.
Superstar.
You never saw that? Shame. Go out and watch.
I don't
that
know which
musical.
Superstar is.
Jesus Christ Superstar.
Oh,
is
Jesus Christ Superstar. Yeah, the movie.
It's a musical.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I've seen the musical. Don't worry. It's been a while since I've seen it, but it was awesome. There's nothing else to say, but
Technicolor Dreamcoat.
it was awesome. It came out in the 70s.
Something like that.
Ha. Ooh, nice. He did not kill him.
The advantage of Joggin is he soaks up a little bit of experience, but he doesn't start the game so good that he just steals kills like a certain thief in Radiant Dawn.
Oh, Soft? But he's a main character.
Yeah.
And I hate his guts. I do not like Soft.
I like how he goes from one of the most bit parts in Path of Radiance to the number 2 in the sequel for no explicable reason. Because he was a wimp in the first game.
Yeah, he was not very good in Path of Radiance at all. But they
Well, it was
decided to
an
make him a main
interesting-
character for the sequel. Frey.
Meanwhile, the red shirts are
Ooh,
dying
weapon level
like
up.
their
So he's now
namesakes in
D.
Star Trek.
Oh, can't kill. There we go.
Yeah, as I was mentioning axes earlier being the best, but kind of ironically
Best in
so.
terms of damage.
Best in terms of damage, but all of the actual best weapons in the games are swords.
Yeah, that's because this is it's a remake of an old game, and the best weapons was swords.
Always swords, which doesn't make any sense, but there you are. So, despite being the best weapon type, axes end up being the worst weapons because
Ow.
all of your best characters are sword users and to just beat up on all of the poor axe users in the game, which is something like the majority of the enemies.
Even though my personal favorite weapon type are the lances. And there goes Sheeta doing a critical. I quite like Pegasus Knights, but I don't like Sheeta at all, because, like I said earlier, she's nothing but speed, and her growths
Yeah,
are
20% strength
Not bad.
growth, 85% speed growth. That is kind of insane. Oh, and absolutely, it's like 10 defense growth.
Yeah, she
So,
would
yeah.
never get defense at all, and defense on a physical unit is pretty much mandatory.
Especially Pegasus Knights with their crippling fear of bow wielders.
Yeah, but that's not that big of a worry.
I don't know, there's some of the later maps in a bunch of games where if you misplace a Pegasus, it's just dead instantly. But I guess that's true of most units, except for Knights.
Nice. I think I might buy one more sword.
I also find it very interesting that everybody's preferred method of avoiding harm is dodging, including the Knights, instead of blocking.
Yeah, well, there is a special skill in some games for like generals to just fully absorb an attack, but that's not in this game.
And there's also the chance that the general just doesn't take damage because of ridiculously high defense stats. But look at Joggin, he has a shield on his arm, but nope, dodge with the horse. The horse is doing all of the work here.
That's the name of the game. The horse carries you. At least it's not FE4 where it's nothing but huge maps. Like this map right here, it's a small map, but it would this entire map is like 10% the size of the
Of any
smallest
of the good
map in
siege
4.
maps in FE4. Oh god, yeah. Fire Emblem games in general have pretty reasonable map sizes. There's only a couple that I can think of in the more modern ones that are just punishingly large. There's the one forest section in Path of Radiance, but that's
It's
actually
split up
4
into
maps.
Yeah, it's split up into 4 sections.
But each of them is still pretty massive. There's the introduction
Wait,
of
what
the
did I
old
say?
party
Oh no, never mind.
from or Radiant Dawn. That one's a pretty huge map.
Dead.
And more level ups, and he is allergic to strength gain.
Alright, so after the enemy's turn, I'll see you guys for next part for Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon.